Good morning, Wayne. We will see you right here at this desk at 11:30 Eastern, as always on Fridays. Speaking of Friday, good morning, Keyshawn Johnson.
Hey, morning,
you ready?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You look ready.
You don't have to call me Friday night fresh, man.
Sleepless.
Man, I'm going
got a
out.
little sleep.
I'm going out in this outfit tonight.
You're
Skip.
going out? I
I'm
think you
going
just
out in
got
this-
back.
I'm going out in
Right?
this
You've been
outfit
out all
tonight. I'm
night.
looking fresh today, baby.
I was told you were out celebrating the gold medal that Team USA hasn't yet won. Is that true?
Man, it's in the bag. I already told you. It's in the bag.
So over.
That's so over. It's in the bag, baby.
It's
Come
so
on
over.
now.
It hadn't even started yet.
Right.
Okay, speaking of that, let's get started talking about a player who eventually will join Paul in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. That's
Looks like Russell Westbrook is on his way from the Clippers to Denver.
I like it. I like that.
Nuggets have lost, of course, KCP and backup point guard Reggie Jackson. So in a sign and trade deal, Chris Dunn goes from Utah to the Clippers. Utah will buy out Russ's $4 million contract. Then Russ will play for Denver for the veteran minimum of $3.3 million. Paul,
All right.
sounds like you're going to say good fit.
Yeah, that's a good fit.
Right?
You know what? I look at it and everybody say, well, Russ didn't fit with KD. He didn't fit with the Lakers. I thought he fit with the Clippers, though. But look at this. Russ is at a point in his career. I know he wants to win the championship. He's done everything that you could possibly do in the game of basketball. He's been an MVP. He's been to the finals. I mean, how many countless triple-double seasons. But look at this.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I look at him now at this age, and I'm like, you know, Denver is still a contender. As long as you got Joker, they're a contender. They lost something with KCP, yeah. They lost something with Brown the year before that and Jeff Green.
They did.
So I think he fills the void on a few things, and this is more than on the court. He gives them off-the-court leadership, you know, which I think KCP was kind of playing that role. But I also like, you know, I kind of look at him like a Jason Kidd role on Dallas. You remember how valuable Jason Kidd was when he played with Dirk Nowitzki when they won the 2000, I believe, 11 championship. Jason Kidd, he wasn't Jason Kidd at the time, but he was so valuable for them as far as leadership and just plays and just knowing, defending multiple positions like Russ can do. And I feel like this is a great fit. And you know what I would do? I would make him a starter. I think you could put him in as a starter like you did Jason Kidd, because now you could throw Jamal Murray at the 2 and say, Jamal, you know what? You could go be the scorer you are because, you know, you got too much responsibility trying to play make, and then you negotiating between being when to assist and when to be a scorer. When I feel like Jamal Murray's a natural-born scorer. Now you got playmaking from Russ and Jokic. Russ can cut back door, slash, and do those things like we seen he do with the Clippers.
So you're talking about a starter for
Yeah, I like him as a starter.
Okay, like a 35 minutes starter?
Man, you can give about 28 to 30 minutes. Yep, I like that. Think about when Jay Kidd was about the same age, starting on a championship team. He wasn't Jay Kidd. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to wow you with his numbers, but he going to give you all the little intangibles, and I think Russ can be that now. He didn't turn out, he's not the shooter that Jay Kidd became, because Jay Kidd became a decent spot-up shooter.
He did.
Same thing with Rondo on the Lakers. Reminded me of that move when they won in 2020. So I like this move with Russ right there as a starter, with Jamal Murray at the 2, and I think they can still make some noise as a contender as long as Joker is still playing at an MVP level.
Yeah, you know, when you look at Russ's overall career, you go OKC young.
I mean, he got middle-aged at Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but I mean young when they got
sure.
to the championship.
Oh.
Outside of that, the next best stop for him was the Clippers. That had some a team that
I
can
buy
contend.
that. Yep.
Now you go into a foundation.
I don't know. Houston, was they a contender?
No, they was all Harden didn't want to beat it. It was all messed up.
Yeah.
And now you got a team that has a solid foundation. You're not taking him and putting him. You're not building a team. The team's already in play. You're just adding a piece to the team. So for those that think he goes in there and he becomes disruptive, and all of a sudden it's gonna mess up their chemistry. Because I know that's when people first think about Russ, the first thing they say is, well, it didn't work with LeBron. It didn't work in Houston. Or it didn't work in Washington. And he wore out his welcome in OKC. Paul George had to get away from him. that's the way people are going to think about things. But those teams were never championship caliber teams. This is a championship caliber team because of Joker, because Murray, and they want him. There's a difference when somebody want you opposed to you being sent there. So I agree with Paul. I think he's going there to be a starter. I don't think he's going there to come off the bench. Even though they lose KCP and Reggie Jackson, and they lost Green and Brown 2 years ago, I get all that. But he's going there to be a starter because it allows Murray to go to somewhat of a natural position.
Yeah, I think
you
so.
still got Joker that can pass the ball everywhere. Russ can bring the ball up the court. He can set the offense. He's not a dribble, run the air out of the ball type guy like that. Not when he has players around him. So I think it's going to be all right for Denver. I really do.
So you think it takes them up a notch again?
I don't know if it takes them up a notch, but it doesn't. It didn't bring them. When KCP left, I thought it brought them down. But bringing Russ back, I think it put them right back where they were. You know, because as long as you got Joker, and they went 7 games. Remember, they went 7 games with Minnesota,
and it could have went home.
It could have went either way, and then we end up with a possible matchup between Denver and Dallas, which, you know, it can go either way. When Joker's out there, he makes the players around him better.
And he's at a different place in his career now, Skip, from a mental standpoint, where he's not thinking I'm the triple-double Russ. He's been removed from that for several years now, so he understands where he's at in his career.
Intangibles guy. He's an intangibles guy. Dude, 5 or 6 assists, 5, 6 rebounds. Think about that. And he can get you about 10 points. That's solid for them.
So, Paul Pierce, usually I'm with you on just about every basketball opinion that you have, except for this one.
I knew you weren't going to be about this one.
I have never gotten Russell Westbrook from the start. And I'm from Oklahoma City, and when that team rose up in 2011, 2012, got to the finals, I just couldn't get my arm around Russ. KD, yeah, big fan from the start, from the days he was in Austin at Texas. James Harden, yeah, he was a lethal 6th man for that team in 2012. But Russ drove me crazier and crazier and crazier because right away I got into it with both of them, with KD and Russ, because Russ started taking more shots than Kevin Durant, which is easy to do because Kevin's the most efficient superstar scorer I have ever seen. Low shots, high points. He just gifted that way. But when Russ is just jacking up shots right and left, it was driving me crazy. Then it drove KD crazy that I was getting driven crazy on television, and here we went. But I have been anti-Russ from the start. I got nothing personal against him, but when you are a high-volume three-point shooter and you're around 30% for your career, it's hard to live with that. When you are the ultimate turnover machine, plus a poor shooter and plus a poor free throw shooter, it's hard to live with that. So when you do the Jason Kidd comparison, my mind boggles because Jason Kidd was one of the best passers we've ever seen. He's a, top 5 all-time passer? Is that fair to say?
But he wasn't Jason Kidd in Dallas. You didn't see him sprinting the break doing these.
No, I got that.
You know.
But he was not high turnover.
He was high IQ.
Was he?
I mean, one of the best.
High, which is why he has turned into a very good basketball coach. So the point is the point. To your point, you're exactly right. Ty Lue worked wonders with him. That was a sweet fit. That was the best fit he's ever had. That was the best coach he's ever had by far. A coach who worked with him as opposed to Darvin Ham, who just clashed with him from moment one, and it never worked. It never got off the ground from literally game one. With the Lakers, Darvin said, I need you to come off the bench. And to your point, the communication was not there because Darvin just couldn't connect with it.
That was bad. Skip, think about this. Like, and I love Patrick Beverly, but if I'm Westbrook and I got to come off the bench for Pat Beverly, we're going to be arguing every day.
Plus, Russ didn't like Pat because Pat